Today, I'm going to be revealing my exclusive steps to when it comes to listing a property. What I do in terms of listing a property to closing the property to turning a for sale sign into a sold sign. So stay tuned to discover how I bring my clients top dollar when it comes to listing their property. What's going on, guys? It's Cody with eXp Realty, and I'm pretty sure you're a seller and you're wondering why, hey, how are these properties getting sold quickly? How are these properties getting under contract quickly? Well, I'm going to be revealing that in today's video. It depends on the type of realtor you use. You're either using a passive realtor or you're using an aggressive realtor. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my aggressive side when it comes to listing a property. I'm going to show you my strategies of what I do for my clients, how I get them top dollar for the property, and how I get them sold quickly. So first of all, if you're new to the channel, be sure to follow all my social medias, my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I post daily realtor vlogs of me trying to hit multi six figures as a 20-year-old realtor. And also, again, if you're new to this channel, I also help buyers and sellers relocate to Arkansas. If you're looking to relocate out of Arkansas, I also help them do that, buy or sell. Be sure to contact me down in the description below. Again, I don't want to hold you guys too longer. Let's jump right into the video. Number one, the pre-listing strategy. Guys, this is pretty simple. This is pretty straightforward. Whenever you're about to list the property, you want to list the home, you want to clean out the property, make sure it's staged correctly, make sure everything looks good. This is the complete basic package of whenever you're about to list a property. I mean, every seller knows this. I mean, hopefully you know this, because hopefully you want to put your property at its highest state whenever you're ready to list the property. It's simple, it's common sense. It's what every realtor tells their clients. But it's not only just about the aesthetics, it's trying to create an emotional connection. I always tell my sellers, whenever you're about to list a home, you want to think what a buyer thinks, especially whenever you're trying to stage your property. I recommend all my sellers to try to do as much staging as they can, because you want to really think in the buyer's head. Whenever they're coming to the property, you want to really get in their head and think like, hey, they can picture themselves living here. That's why I really encourage my sellers to do a lot of staging. I mean, great, vacant houses, obviously they work too, but when it comes to staging, you're really getting into somebody's imagination. They're thinking, hey, they can picture themselves living there. It don't have to be fully staged. It could be literally like a couch, a pool table. It doesn't have to be fully staged out like somebody actually lives there. Just put in some extra decorating staging to make the property look like somebody lives here, but also get into the buyer's head of them actually picturing themselves living there. And also, you want to do as much repairs as possible. Of course, if the property is as is, if you want to sell it as is, of course you're going to sell it as is. But if you're trying to get top dollar for your property, you want to do as many repairs as you can, because doing all those repairs will limit the setbacks that potential buyers may come through, and less complaining when they come through the property. Number two, which is the biggest, pricing strategy. Next up, which is another basic that every realtor does, but they don't do these three things that I will suggest my sellers that they don't ever tell them. Obviously, when it comes to pricing strategy, you're going to do comparative market analysis. You're going to see what's sold in the area, you're going to see what's selling in the area, and you're going to see what recently, like I said, sold within the last 30 days, last 60 days, last 90 days, to get an accurate price of what your house could be potentially selling for. Here's the kicker. You don't want to overprice your property, because I always tell people in all my videos, and you can literally go look at all my videos I just made, pricing strategy is one of your biggest factors. It can make or break your home sale. So what do you know? Pricing it too high, you're just going to stay on the market for hundreds and hundreds of days, never selling. You're not going to sell your property for $200,000 over listing price. So here's my three top strategies that I give my sellers when it comes to listing. Number one, you can start at a fair market value, which is worth that, which I'm pretty sure every seller is gonna do. Obviously, yeah, that is a great strategy. But number two, my second strategy, is pricing it a little bit below market value to a more attractive price, to generate more eyes to the property, to generate more showings, to generate more offers. But my third strategy is the bidding war strategy. Now, most of all my sellers go with this bidding war strategy, and how to start this bidding war strategy is pricing your property fairly a little bit below market value. Generate a lot of traction. This is exactly how I generated 7 offers for one of my listings and getting it under contract for 110% over listing price. This is what you do. You want to price it a little bit below, but not too low where it's low enough where you're only getting offers for where you're only getting in that price range. Price it below about $10,000, $15,000 below average market value. Put it on the market. You gain a lot of traction, get a lot of showings, get a lot of people talking about it, and then you're going to get a lot of phone calls asking, hey, are there any other offers on the property? You're going to tell them yes. You're going to tell them you're going to bring your highest and best offer, because somebody is always going above and above what somebody else is trying to offer. Basically, you kind of get it. I'm trying to put it in a more simple way. It's basically trying to get people to fight for that price point and get it up all the way to what the seller is wanting. And when the seller gets what they want, they can either continue to fight and build up, or they can stay right there and take that offer. But usually when it comes to fighting above listing price, takes a lot of skill, and that's the realtor that you need when it comes to negotiation. So if you need a realtor that's going to negotiate for you and fight and get you top dollar for the property, like I said, be sure to contact me down in the description below. Number 3 that a lot of realtors don't do, I call this active marketing. This is also what I call it high impact marketing. Obviously, you want to do professional photos. You don't just want to take pictures of the home with your iPhone and you just take a picture and just put it on MLS, put it on Zillow, just like that. No type of editing, no nothing. You gotta think about it, guys. Your online image really matters. And that's the first thing buyers see is your online image. They're gonna judge you from your online image before they really gonna go see your property. Now, granted, some sellers or some buyers may actually go around and actually go look at the property in person and might not just neglect the photos. But if you want to attract serious buyers and a lot of traction, your quality of photos really matter. Your drone photos really matter. Your videos matter too, aka property tours. And what I do all 3 of those. Not only will you be doing those type of marketings, not only will I be doing those type of marketings, like I said earlier, I will be doing something called active marketing. And now let me explain what active marketing is. This meaning consistently posting your listing on social media. Not only that, running Facebook and Instagram ads for it. Yeah, coming out of my own pocket whenever that's doing that. Also going the extra mile, cold calling everybody that's in the neighborhood, letting them know that your property is active and finding active buyers. Now, what other realtor do you know actually doing that? You don't know a lot of realtors that's doing that. And most realtors are not gonna do that because they're not gonna actively list your property. And that's something that I do personally. Not a lot of realtors don't have to do that, but I do that personally because I want to find you a buyer as quick as possible. Number 4, we're going back to what we talked about in number 2. Showings and negotiation. Now, when it comes to showings, sellers, you need to be super flexible when it comes to showings. I mean, you have to be on point when it comes to selling. What I mean by this is that you want to be flexible to as many people as possible. I mean, obviously, yeah, you can do your 24-hour window, but I usually would try to narrow that down with my sellers. I try to get them within like an hour or about 2 hours. I really try to avoid that 24-hour window because within those 24 hours, the buyer meter, believe it or not, but the buyer, whenever they want to see your home, 9 times out of 10, those hours, they're just going to go down. They're not just going to be that interested in looking at your property the next day. I'm not saying that the buyer still won't be interested in seeing your property. I'm saying, speaking as multiple buyers. Multiple buyers have other properties they want to go look at, and sometimes they want to see your property immediately, which is why I said when it comes to showings, I would really want sellers to be on top of it. Now, when it comes to negotiations, this is where I go back into saying you need an agent who's going to actually fight for you. You need an agent who's going to give you top dollar, who's going to get you the right negotiations. I'm talking about within incentives, not just only price, incentives too, like closing costs, surveys, whatever that's in the offer, making it look good when it comes to counter offering or trying to offer for another property. So not only this is a seller aspect, this is also a buyer aspect who's going to get you the best price or is going to get you top dollar. But overall, you want to ensure that there's no delays when it comes to counter offering or offering in general, and there's no delays when it comes to showings. Now, number 5 is obviously what everybody like, the smooth closing process. Now, everybody prays for a smooth closing process. Now, I'm not saying every process will be smooth. Obviously, there's going to be, some rocky moments, but when a buyer comes in and they're already pre-approved and they're just set and go, that's when you can expect a smooth closing process. Now, let's say in a scenario that you have to do more negotiation after the inspect and repair process. Now, this is where you come back into negotiation. You need an agent who's going to actively negotiate for you to keep that process going and to make the closing process more smoother, because like I said, almost every closing process doesn't go as smooth as you think it is. And believe it or not, most closing process really fall out of deal with after the inspection process, or when they can't afford the mortgage anymore or the offer. So those are the two biggest reasons on why people back out of closing or can't make it to the closing table. So which is why I say you can't necessarily control it. It's really up to the buyer to make sure their expenses are right. And whenever inspections and repairs come through, they want to try to negotiate with the price. They want to try to lowball you again. This is where I come back to, you need an aggressive agent who's going to negotiate for you. Make sure you're still getting top dollar for the property. That way, if everybody comes to an agreement, you're still walking away with a win. So like I said, over and over, if you need that agent, be sure to contact me down in the description. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed on how I start my listings and how I get my listings sold fast. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do other agents actually do this for you? If you're a seller, if you're a buyer, do you think that, hey, I need this agent, I need you to negotiate for me, give me the best price? I would love to hear the feedback down in the description below. And again, like I said, be sure to follow all my social medias, my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I post daily vlogs of me trying to hit multi six figures as a 20-year-old realtor. And if you need to contact me, my contact information is down in the description below. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let's get it.